Hello everybody, welcome to ScottyDGaming. What I'm going to do now for you today is I've just ate a kung pao chicken Chinese. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling in a good mood, I'm feeling helpful, that I want to help the community out. So I'm absolutely off my tits on fucking Chinese food, so let's do it. What I'm going to do is I want to show you how I personally capture my PC emulated games footage and everything you need to do it, everything you need to set it up exactly how I do. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, but I know what I do fucking works. So without further ado, let's do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to your internet, whatever you use. I use Firefox because it's the tits. And what the hell is that? Oh, fucking get rid of that. We don't need that yet. Okay. Right, so you're going to go to your internet. You're going to go to obsproject.com, which is the open broadcaster software. This is the software that I use to record all my footage from my PC, including my emulation from emulation programs, and it's brilliant. It's so nice to use. It's free. It's got no adware, no bullshit, no nothing. It's just a piece of software that just fucking works, and that's what we all want. So obsproject.com, open broadcaster software. Download that shit. Download it, install it, bish bash bosh. Next thing you're going to want to do is InputMyBot. Now, if you're using an Xbox 360 pad, you don't need to get this software. The reason I need InputMyBot is because I like to use a PS4 pad on my PC to control all my emulated games with. Okay, now InputMyBot is the software that you need. Why do I need this software? One, because your PS4 pad won't work without it. And two, because the best software I believe on the internet for making a PS4 pad work with your PC, because you don't need to change any fucking settings. All you need to do is download it, install it, open it up, minimize it so it's running in the background, and as soon as you connect your PS4 pad to it, it just fucking works. Champion! Next thing you're going to want to do is you want to get your emulator and your ROMs, which are your games for that emulator. So in this example, what I want to do with you today is we're going to set up a Sega Mega Drive emulator. Okay, now you're going to want to go to EMU Paradise.me. It's my preferred website for getting emulators and ROMs. It's got everything you need. It's a lovely website to use. Now we want to get a Mega Drive one or a Sega Genesis, depending on what region you're from. I want to go to Popular Emulators, just up here at the top, and I want to go to View All Emulators. We're going to scroll down to Sega Mega Drive, Sega Genesis Mega Drive. I'm going to click that. Choose your platform. Mine's Windows. And there we go. The top one. Now, you don't always pick the top one. It's best for you to try them out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and save you the legwork. I'm going to tell you what I use because it works. I use Fusion. Fusion, in my opinion, is the best Mega Drive emulator. And bear in mind, all emulators that I use allow you to use the PS4 pad. So there's no worrying about that. The work, you can use your control pad. Happy days. Download that shit. It's a zip file. Now, I don't believe you need to install Fusion. Just once you download the zip file, extract the zip file, open up the program, it works. Happy days. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get the games for your emulator. So you're going to go to ROMs, ISOs and games. You're going to go down to consoles and select the console you want. I mean, Genesis is there. Oops. Genesis is here, but view all sections just so you can see everything that they do. Now I'm going to select Sega Genesis Mega Drive, and it's got your most downloaded, your top rated. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to select Streets of Rage 2, but if you wanted a particular game, like for example, what's not here? Zool's not here. We're going to go to Z, and Zool is there. There we go. Well, we're going to... Now, I'll download Zool for the sake of the fucking video, okay? Now, you will have different versions, a USA version, a Europe version. Now, Fusion runs anything you download from this website. So, it's only if you've got a preferred region of choice. Like, some regions, games had certain modes, different features, different levels. Some were censored and whatnot. So, it's your preference what you choose. So, I'm just going to choose the Europe version of Zool. Click on that. It's got descriptions and screenshots and shit, but I'll just go straight to download links. Download Zool. you're going to want to scroll down to direct download, click that shit. It downloads on its way, bang, there you go. Right now, sometimes when you click this, a captcha security box will appear where you have to like fill in the word that it says. Do that and you'll just get your download here. Save your file wherever you want, wherever you know you want your games. Now once you've done all that, you're ready to go. But I'm just going to quickly show you. I've got a folder that's called Emulators on my desktop, and in here I've got my 4 emulators and the folders where I keep my games. So for example, my Mega Drive games, I have them. Now when you download them, they'll be in a zip file, so you just extract them, and I normally pull the bin or SMD files, whatever file is that it comes in different formats, .gen and etc. I normally pull it out and just have a list like this. That's how I do it, because I'm organized, mate. I'm so fucking professional, it's unreal. So at this stage, you've got your capture software, you've got your controller software, you've got your emulator and your games. We don't need that anymore. Now wait there, we do. My preferred emulators for each one I'm going to show you. JNES. If you want to capture NES footage and use NES games, download JNES emulator, it's the best one. Mega Drive, you want to download Fusion. Nintendo 64, you want to download Project 64, and for the Sega Saturn, download your BOSH. There's other Sega Saturn emulators out there, they're all dog shit. Don't waste your time, you'll fucking be swinging from the lampshade by a rope if you try to use any other emulator. They're all shit, right? Your BOSH runs out of the box and you can just load the games from within the software, okay? You don't need to use any fucking magic discs, any demon tools and nothing like that. It's dead simple. One side note is, on your Sega Saturn, your BOSH emulator, you will need to download a Sega Saturn BIOS to get that to work correctly. Now I'm just going to quickly show you where that is. From the default homepage, you want to go to Community, Links and Downloads, and you want to go to BIOS files. From the BIOS section, you're going to go to Sega Saturn BIOS pack. Download the Sega Saturn BIOS pack, and once you've got that within your BIOS, you can load the BIOS pack which relates to the games you want to play. If you want to play USA games, you need to load the USA BIOS. If you want to play Europe games, you need to load the Europe Europe BIOS. Now I'm just going to go into that briefly. If you want any more information on that, do a YouTube search. Someone else will go into it more in depth, but as long as you've got those files, you'll be able to work it out yourself. So what I'm going to show you now is I am going to show you how to set up OBS. This is the OBS that I've got open. As you can see, I'm already recording, so my button here says stop recording, which I'm not going to do because then I'll be cut off from you and we'll just be staring at nothing, both me and you. So first off, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up a scene. Now a scene is just what you're going to be capturing. It's just a name. It doesn't mean anything until you start creating things within the scene. So as you can see, I've got my PC game capture, I've got my PS4, my NES, my Mega Drive, my Saturn, my VLC if I want to capture any footage from my VLC media player, and a how-to. Now I've just created this how-to just for this video, and in the sources section, which all the sources sections mean is, from this scene, what is it going to be capturing? Now my display capture that I've got capturing at the moment is just whatever my PC shows you, whatever it's outputting, and that's why you can see me moving this shit on the screen. Now, so you want to create, this will all be blank, it'll be a blank canvas when you open it up. So you want to go to scenes, you want to add one, you want to call it whatever you want, so I'd suggest naming it Mega Drive if you're going to be calling it Mega Drive, and click OK. And that won't do anything, it'll just appear in here as Mega Drive or how to or whatever, and this will all be blank. And what you're going to do next is you're going to, under your sources, it'll be blank for you. You're going to click on add. No, stop there, Scott. You're not going to do that yet. First off, just to make it a bit easier, you want to open up your emulator software. Okay, so in this case it's going to be Fusion. The reason I'm doing this first is so you can actually see what the fuck's going on. Okay, so I'm going to open up my Mega Drive Fusion emulator, and it should be slap bang in the middle of my screen, which it is. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to make him bigger. Now, as long as that's open on as long as Fusion or whatever emulator you're using is open on your PC in a window, it'll make it a lot easier to set this up so you can see what you're doing. So you're going to go to sources, you're going to click on the add box, which means we're going to add a source to capture from. Obviously you won't have display capture here. We're going to click on add, and it's going to be a window capture. All emulators that I do are captured in Windows, and I'll explain why later. I don't go full screen because full screen tends to fuck shit up. Okay, window capture. You can give it a name of your choice. Let's call it Mega Drive. Let's call it Fusion. There we go. And we're going to make the source visible. So click on OK. Now wait there. I just want to double check. Now what you should be seeing on the screen at the moment is the Fusion being in the foreground. Okay, so I'm just going to move what I'm doing over to the side so you can see. The reason why the Fusion emulator has taken over the entire screen is because whatever source you add always becomes the top layer of the screen, and I'll show you how to manage that if you do want different layers. Now I'm just going to double check you can see what we're doing. Yeah, you can. So this is the box that'll appear, and you can choose your different window. Like at the moment I believe I've got my, I can't remember, I was showing you my emulators folder. If by default whatever window you want isn't selected, you can cycle through them. So as you can see in here, you can see the window that I've got open with my emulators and my games in. But we don't want that. We want Fusion for the sake of the Mega Drive capture, which is there. Now I'd highly recommend this box, capture cursor unchecked. The reason is, when you're recording your Mega Drive games or any emulator games, if you move the mouse over the window, it'll actually capture that. And I made that mistake in some of my first Sega Mega Drive Streets of Rage 2 playthrough. I believe in the last video I left the mouse just in the upper left hand corner, which I didn't realise was even there when I was playing the game, but on the video it actually recorded that. So uncheck capture cursor, click OK. And what you will see is, I'm just going to quickly change the, there we go. Right, now all I've done there was, in here you'll only have Fusion, so you'll actually be able to see what you're doing with the Fusion screen. But because I've got display capture, I've lowered the priority of Fusion. All you do that is, like if I want to raise the priority of Fusion, just highlight Fusion like that and click the up button, and that'll put that on top, or send it behind by clicking back. Okay, now I'm going to show you now how am I going to do this. Let me see if I can just try and make this visible for explanation purposes. Okay, I'm going to put him over there, I'm going to put him over there, I'm going to make him bigger. Now I'm going to make him smaller. Right, so I'm going to make Fusion. How am I going to do this to make it visible? Right, all I'm going to do is, whenever you capture a window, right, I'm going to make Fusion the priority. You can see that Fusion has a red outline around it. Okay, now I like to resize that so it touches the bottom of the screen, and then I like to move it so it's in the center. Now what that does is, that just keeps the aspect ratio. Whenever you're playing older games, I've normally got a 4:3 aspect ratio, and I normally keep that for my recordings. Now in the case of Panzer Dragoon Saga, when I was recording that on my Sega Saturn emulator, your BOSH, I made that full screen, and all I did was just change the settings within your emulator to the resolution that you want to capture, whether it's 16:9 or 4:3, and then you can have a bit play about, drag and drop whatever you want to record, and whatever you see in the OBS window will be how it appears, how it'll appear when you record it. So for example, if I do this, I do this and this, there we go, it'll record like the center of the screen will be the game, and the left here and the right here will be black bars on yours. On mine it isn't, because I'm recording my screen capture as well. Now I'm just going to make Fusion go back to the background while I explain. So you've done that. You can see that your Fusion emulator looks how you want it in the preview screen. Okay, you're going to want to now set up your, I'm going to close Fusion for now because it's just pissing us off. Okay, you don't have to. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to now set up your settings for recording. So we're going to go to File in OBS, Settings. We're going to go to General. You can leave everything in General by default. I don't believe I've changed anything here. Stream, I'm not going to change anything in here. I don't stream. If you do, you're going to have to look up the information for that, but I don't fuck about with streaming, so leave that blank. Output. Now, because I'm recording now, I can't, you can see here in the top, output mode advanced. It doesn't let us change it, but by default it's on simple. Now, I don't fuck about with simple. I want to choose my settings, so I'd recommend you choose that to advanced. Now, your streaming tab will be the first one selected. Don't bother with that if you're not streaming. If you are streaming, well, you might want to fuck about with this. I'm not going to be doing that in the video. You want to be clicking on recording. Now, recording, I left type as standard, my recording path. Now, I can't change this because I'm recording, but you want to select where your recorded videos get saved to. So in my case, it's in my Scott profile videos PC capture. And my recording format is MP4 audio track 1. I only record my videos with one audio track. My encoder is X264, and I always rescale my output to 720p. The reason being is my internet is ghetto as fuck. It is devastating, so I want to keep my file sizes as low as possible with a good quality. Now, another thing that relates to file sizes and quality is your bitrate here. Now, your rate control leave on CBR, but your bitrate, I find for any emulation capture, 4000 is enough, and I do believe 4000 bitrate is enough for most capture. Anything that you're going to upload to YouTube is probably good enough with 4000, although I do capture my PS4 gameplay at 6000, but we're just talking about PC emulation at the moment. Everything else you can leave as default, apart from, depending, unless you've got a fucking beastly PC, NASA computer, fucking hive mind or something, this usage won't matter. By default, it's on fast, but the higher you go, which I like to leave it on super fast, means that your CPU gets less usage, which means because I'm using an emulator, the reason I ended up fucking about with this setting was because when I was recording my Panzer Dragoon Saga playthrough, it must require quite a lot of CPU to do. Now, when I had this just on fast, I was getting stutters, I was having frame rate problems, my CPU was struggling with it, so I set this preset to super fast. Now, since doing that, I haven't even noticed a difference in quality, so I would leave all of my recordings at super fast, and I recommend you start off with super fast, and then if you're happy with the results, maybe lower the speed so you get a bit better quality, and see if it's beneficial for you. But I'd highly recommend just super fast, and that's it. They're the only settings you need to change there. Everything else you can leave off. Make sure variable frame rate is off as well, otherwise you're going to have a shitload of problems, because nothing ever uses variable frame rate. It's just a load of shit. Now, audio output, sorry, we'll go back to output. Audio tab and output, audio bitrate is 128. That's all I record at. I'd recommend you to just set it up as default, and you have a playback later on if you're not happy. Now, the audio section. This sample rate here, you've got a choice of 44.1 kHz or 48 kHz. Whatever setting you're using here must match up with your PC settings, your PC playback settings. So you want to go to your PC audio, you're going to right click it, go to playback devices. Okay, on the playback devices you want to go to speakers, right click it, properties. You want to go to advanced. Whatever it is here, mine's 48,000 Hertz, 48 kilohertz. That number must match up with that number, otherwise you're going to have a whole load of problems, possible problems. So I'd recommend just doing it off the bat so it works. Cancel that shit. Right, channel stereo, happy with that. My desktop audio devices, whatever your speakers are that you want the audio to come from and audio to be recorded. Mine's my laptop speakers, Realtek high definition audio. Yours will be called something else, but just to have a bit of play about. I don't have an audio device to leave that disabled. Your mic auxiliary audio device. I use a Blue Snowball microphone, which is connected to my PC, so I use that for capturing my commentary and my voice audio. I don't have a second one or a third one, so leave them disabled. And these bits here, don't fuck about with these. You don't need to. Well, you might need to, but I don't. I'm just giving you my settings. Video. This is where you select your base resolution. So my base laptop resolution is 1080p. So is my PS4. So that's why that's at that setting. My output scaled resolution I set to 720p, obviously to save file size. My downscale filter I left by default, which is that. In my common FPS, I record everything at 30 FPS. You might prefer to record at 60. It's up to you. I like 30. It's enough for my videos on YouTube. Now I can't change that because obviously I'm recording at the moment. That's why it says video output is currently active. Please turn off outputs to change video settings. That's why they're blanked out. For you it won't be. Now your hotkeys. You can set up hotkeys to do various tasks within OBS, but I don't use them. The reason I don't use them is because on certain windows that you're playing using emulators, they won't work. So for example, I remember trying this with Streets of Rage and my start recording and stop recording wouldn't work while I was within the program. So that's why I now run all my emulators in windowed mode with OBS down here at the side, so I can just click stop and start by myself. You might want to have a bit of a play about to see if the hotkeys suit you, but I don't bother messing with that because I'm a more of a just work with what works type of guy. Now your advanced. Your general process priority can stay normal, and so can all of the other settings. I've never messed about with any of these. They're good to go for you to practice. So we're going to cancel out the settings. That's all of your settings you need to use. Now, the last thing, one of the last things I want to show you is, before you start recording properly, you're going to want to muck about with testing your desktop audio and mic audio levels, to make sure that you're getting a good audio commentary to audio gameplay level. That makes sense. Okay, so if you can see here, when I record, it records my desktop audio at minus 23.2 decibels compared to full audio from a mic. I always would recommend having your mic at the full volume and lowering your desktop audio. Now I've mucked about with these settings and I've found that minus 23.2 decibels works perfect for my audio commentary levels to be a bit higher than my gameplay, so it's not muffled or drowned out. You can hear it clearly. Now how I did that was I just start recording, talk a load of shit, blah blah blah, testing 1 2 3, stop recording, check the video, see if the levels are how you like it. If they are, use them. These are my settings, minus 23.2. The next thing you're going to want to do is, on your mic auxiliary, you've got a settings button. Now before we go to this, I'm going to explain what I'm about to do. Because my laptop has got fans that are like a fucking construction site. The fans are so loud, and when you're doing multiple tasks like recording emulators, the fans are on quite high all the time because it's using high CPU. Okay, now the Blue Snowball microphone is such a good microphone, it captures that noise, and any microphone will capture ambient noise within the background even when you're not seeing anything. Now when you're recording PC gameplay from an emulator or anything, when you're recording anything, normally you're playing the game, it's got action, it's got sound effects, it's got music. You don't notice the fan noise or the background music. It's quite a low noise. You'll only ever notice it when the game is quiet. Now sometimes when I'm recording a game and there's a cutscene that's quite low, maybe nothing's happening in it, and I'm being quiet as well because I'm watching it, There's a distracting noise which you can hear as the fan noise. It pisses you off. So the best way to minimize that is, in your mic aux, you're going to go to settings, which is the little cog, filters. Now as you can see, I've already got the noise gate filter active, but when you go to here, this will be blank. So you're going to click on the add button, you're going to choose noise gate, and you're going to give it a name, add it left as noise gate, and click OK. And what you're going to have is you're going to have these settings here. So the closed threshold means that I've got this set at minus 46 decibels. I'm just going to move this over here so you can see. Right, that should be good. Right, so closed threshold I've got at minus 46 decibels. I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to stop talking in a moment, and you'll see that my voice, when I talk's about here, you can see the green bar flashing over here. Now when I stop talking, you can see that my fan noise is about here where my mouse is. So I'm just going to stop talking and you'll see. There you go. So my mic always records the noise from here downwards. I don't want it to. So when I click minus 46 decibels, right, after I stop talking, hello, it's fucked up. When I stop talking, I don't know where it's getting the feedback from. Wait there. There. When I stop talking, you'll notice after a brief delay, the microphone will cut off because the noise that it's picking up is less than 46 decibels. So it'll just stop recording. That's handy for when you're not talking and your game's quiet. You won't hear the fan noise being prevalent within your gameplay. There we go, champion. So you'll have to play about with this. I worked out that the ideal settings for me were the closed threshold, which means that anything below 46 decibels won't be recorded. The microphone will go silent, but anything above minus 45 decibels will be recorded. Now you will notice, because these are minus numbers, minus 46 is lower than minus 45, which I'm not being fucking, I'm trying not to be the fucking, what's the word? Condescending or anything. I'm just giving you a reason why these numbers look like that. It opens at minus 45, which means anything above minus 45 decibels will be recorded, and anything lower than minus 46 decibels won't be. Boosh, there we go. So once you've got that set up, you are ready to go. Now on your screen, if you followed this video to a T, you won't have display capture, you'll have Fusion there, and your Fusion emulator will be running in the background, and you'll have your square here, you'll have it adjusted to the size of the screen. Then all you need to do is load in your ROM to your emulator, set up the controls, which you should be able to do because your PS4 pad will be connected to your PC using your input mapper, and you're ready to go. That's everything. That's all I use. Now a quick, I've always find something else to talk about. Shit, the bed is only a 30-minute long video. It's supposed to be a quick fucking thing. Right, so anyway, then after you've done that, you might want to set up a different scene for different emulators. Now one good thing is when you create a new scene for say PS4 capture or NES capture, all of your settings here will remain exactly the same. All of your settings with your microphones and desktop audio will remain the same. It's only what's being captured by the video that will change. So for example, if I click on PS4 capture, the screen will go blank because obviously I haven't got a PS4 capturing. But I'll click back to my how to, which is at the moment capture and display capture. Now just to show you, I want to open back up Fusion. I'm going to open my OBS. So now if I click on my Mega Drive capture, you should see Fusion appear in the center of the screen, okay, because that's how I've got it set up. There we go. So as you can see, that's how my Mega Drive games look. I've got the game in the center, keeping the original aspect ratio and the two black bars at the side. So we're going to go back to me on my desktop. And that's that. So those are the settings. Those are my recommended settings. I'm going to end it now. which is just over the 30-minute mark. OBS is currently at all stream recording. Oh, don't do that. I want to stop my fucking recording first. That's it. I hope it's been helpful. If you do find it helpful, if you're struggling with anything, just comment. I'll reply as best as I can. Like I say, I'm no expert. I'm just giving you what works for me, and it does work for me. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I've loved having you with me. It's been fun, and I will see you in a bit, lads.